the manifesto, you have to have a first-hand understanding of what the situation is. Where are we when it comes to the issue of mining and the impact on the environment?
Well, I think we are in a very terrible situation. As a matter of fact, we are in a, and the only way we can do is to come up. Situation, it couldn't be worse, than what we. And if we leave it like that and we now think continue the pitch that I am sure our lives, our very existence will be brought into question.
In fact, we're supposed to have a carefully structured mining industry. So from the large scales, you come to small scale miners. How did we get here? If there are laws in place that are supposed to ensure that when you're doing small scale mining, you're carefully monitored and ensure that you're working within the area that has been allocated you. If you're doing large scale mining, you're doing the same. How did we get that things are so bad? It seems there's chaos in the areas where there are reported gold.
Yeah. Let me repeat that prior to the legalization of small-scale mining, this activity was completely outlawed. It was until 1989 that government thought that it was necessary for it to make it legal for people who want to legitimately take mining. Even when it was outlawed, people were actively doing it. But in the military regime, people were chasing those who were out of mining because it was generally illegal. So government thought that rather than continue in this illegal situation, let me regulate it and allow people who want to follow the rules to do that without being chased here and there. I believe at that time, the thinking was that the implements that were being used, the equipment, were simply shovels and pickers and all those traditional, artisanal implements. So government was not too worried about that. And we didn't hear too much noise about that. The impact on water bodies was not as serious. So until in 2006 or so, where some people were sent to China to study how to mine. And then you found out that, you could use excavator, you could use they call it those samfang and all those things to mine and actually make more gold than we've been using simple implements for. So then came the use of major equipment. And then came the entrance of Chinese and other foreigners actively involved in activity. This is where it all started. And I think it got out of hand a bit. In 2013, and of course, let me also say, politicians didn't help. They would always go and announce that, look, I am not going to stop that. I'm going to make sure you do. You heard what President Akufo-Addo said, that he is rather going to strengthen Galamsey, and just for political votes. And then after that, he said, we are going to stop it. And the story is what we see. Now, worst of it all, when you have your own people, the political operatives, the leadership in party, leading the charge of the illegality, then obviously you cannot stop it. And recently, the video that came up is a testament to the involvement of party leaders, politicians, ministers, and all the high level people being involved in this illegality. So it makes government unable to stop that. So it is coming from directly within the government, which is in power, which is empowered to stop an illegality, also being a party, in fact, an active participant in that activity. And that is where the problem is. Government has all the powers and all the whatever that's required to stop the illegal side of mining and to control those who have the license but are not mining according to the tenets of the license. So that is where we came from.
But when you ask them, they also point a finger at you, someone like you, and many other leading members of the NDC campaign, you say you go on the Galamsey side, and the things you say make it difficult for them to fight because, of course, they are also politicians seeking power. How do you respond to that?
First of all, they are like someone drowning in the river and seeking to hold on to straw. That is absolutely unnecessary because, one, me myself, I visited small-scale mining site twice. And if by that visit, I can cause every Galamsey site in this country to do to defy the authority of the president, then am I not that powerful? Am I that powerful to do that? In any case, during the COVID time, the president, in the comfort of his home, or I don't know whether it's flat clubhouse was, he made an announcement. Everybody should stay home, and we all stay home. Everybody should do this. Don't do that because of the power he has. How can Kokubuahine or myself go to one place and then that is enough for everybody to continue doing the Galamsey? Why was it not an issue 2020 until this election, until 2024 when they are thinking already, and then they are now pointing fingers at two visits to a place? And if I could, I mean, I don't even want to go there, but I've issued some statements, so I believe that might clarify. People know my views about illegal mining. They know. I've written, I've published some in scientific journals. So I couldn't be going around telling people to do illegal mining. I have been part of their own effort when I was there for 8 months in trying to carve out a solution to Galamsey. So I couldn't turn around and say, go and mine. I never did that. That was never done by me. And so that, and even if, I mean, without admitting that I went there and said, oh, do Galamsey. And everybody would follow me, and government effort, the military and all those things, who went there to stop them, they would defy them and then follow me and do it. I think it's just hanging on to straw. So that thing, when they say I laugh, and sometimes they make me feel the way I don't want to feel. That is some kind of powerful adulation, which I am not.
Two questions arise. The first one is that when you were at the Minerals Commission, did we have the structures in place, one, that can carefully monitor the persons who have been assigned the license and deal with the illegality when it arises?
Absolutely. All those rules and regulations are there. Sometimes the issue of enforcement is a problem because of the sheer size of people who are involved in this illegality. I mean, if you go to the Western region alone, the study indicates that there are over 7,000 spots of mining, maybe legal and illegal small-scale mining, 7,000. So you need some better approach to deal with that 7,000. Well, this is only in the Western region. The Ashanti region, Eastern region, and all those areas, they are not part. The sport, as I say. So we had the structures were in place. And in fact, in 2016, President Mahama actually helped us to have out a very, what we thought was going to be the solution to this human controlled activity like Galamsey. We wanted to take the human aspect out of it so that we'll use technology more to try to drive the control of Galamsey. Unfortunately, they were booted out. I mean, we were booted out. President Mahama lost the election. So the new government comes. You have to know what is there because the handing over was there. You remember in 2013, the president started using the ministerial task force to stop that. There were problems. So you ought to know what your predecessor did and try and modify a solution to it. You rather allow your own people to get themselves so dirty into it and then make things worse. When President Mahama was there, mining in the forest was not a very simple activity. You just couldn't go into the forest to do mining there. Now you led your people to now pass a law that says you can go and mine in the forest without a forest entry permit. So these things, and when you listen to the story, it looks like that law was passed to allow a political interest group who are mining there to do so legitimately, just to legitimize themselves. So immediately that law was passed, I am told about 34 or so applications were presented a day or two after that. So these things do not send good signal as a government that is trying to fight a center like that.
Well, then the question then arises, because you said you were there for 8 months after the John Mahama administration lost power.
Yes.
In fact, the intensified fight against the phenomenon started about 3 months into the Nana Addo administration. So you were there when they started.
Yes.
Can you tell where they failed?
Yes. I think one, they didn't have any plan, to be honest with you.
No plan at all?
There's no plan. I say it on authority. Because when they came, they mentioned MMIP. And then I asked them, what is this MMIP about? Also, you have to complete it. You have to complete the multilateral mining improvement and something.
Okay. So they had a name, but you have to carve out a policy.
Yes, we had the name. So you'll be there and they say, let's go. We are going to this place tomorrow. And then we go. I'm sure you saw some of those things on TV. The Rambo style of stopping that. There was no plan, no thinking about it. Policies were made on the spot. You go and look at the place and say, look, from now on, we have banned small scale mining for 3 months. And then the next time, it has been planned for 8 months. And you see, there was no systematic plan around it. And doubtless, you saw that it was a bit bizarre. Even the interministerial committee that was formed, the leadership was an issue. Who should be the chairman was an issue, because environment felt they should be the chair because they are talking about environment, and mining also thought this is my functional domain, so I should have that. So it wasn't thought through. Maybe the intent to stop it was there, but the plan that would follow wasn't there. And then once people were stopped, politicians themselves actively went in. Some of them lost their own. They asked you to apply for your license again, and if you did, they would say no, we won't give it to you, but it will go to a politician. Obuasi, when we were leaving, Obuasi mine gave us about 60% of their land, and we had earmarked it to be distributed to very serious small-scale miners to do that. We left office, go there and see which people have the licenses on their Obuasi concession. So I think there's too much politics in the fight against this particular government brought in people who are interested in it. Even those who are not interested in mining became interested, because they say, in time there you have to get some Chinese to work for you to do some. You heard it. One DC was saying that now he has got some Chinese people who are doing some Galamsey for them. And I'm sure you also heard it when party regional chairman said, the party needs money, so you have to do Galamsey to bring money. You can't fight a cancer like that with this political mindset.
Now, where we are, what would it take to attempt to reverse the situation at least?
Yes, I think President Mahama has a plan. He has been there before. He knew the challenges that befell him when he tried to stop it. He put together people to do. The problem is he didn't make noise about what he was doing on that. It was only at the last minute, 2016, somewhere 2016, when we had finished doing the work, that he said, let's agree to actually do a big function in Kumasi. He told me in Kumasi, so that everybody will come and see the plan and then get an input. Now, small-scale mining has become more than small-scale mining. People who are using excavator, who are using trommel and all that, they were not anticipated to be using those equipment. So now we have moved from small scale to medium scale. Some people. So we have to have a way of creating a midstream, a medium scale system that will address the issue of large equipment and all those things. So President Mahama says he will recategorize mining skills. So it will move. It will not only be large scale and small scale, but it will be large scale, medium scale, and small scale. And then he would also, and in fact, with the scale, medium scale, you have to have some people with certain knowledge. You must have geologists, you must have mining engineers, you must have people with environmental background, just so that they will tell you how to mine without destroying the environment. They will easily show you where the mineral you're looking for is best because you have a geologist and all that. He also is going to use technology, and we started that. We actually spoke with people who could bring us this technology where all the excavators will be tracked. So you'll be confined to where your concession is. You cannot move your machine without authority to a place that you are not given the right to mine. You can't move, but once you do it, automatically it will be stopped. So that you have to use technology, don't strict technology. You do fence that in the to the concession that you have, and then he is also going to back massive education and then make it less complex for people who want to do it legitimately to get their concession, by which he is going to decentralize the regulatory institutions like the Minerals Commission, the EPA, and all that. So if you are interested, as long as you meet all the requirements, you will have to do that at the district where the mine is or where your concession is. You don't have to come to Accra. But some people who even want to get the license, they come to Accra, they sit there, they don't even know anybody to talk to, so they get frustrated and go back. So let me just go and start my work, And then, of course, if you look at the broad picture of the president focusing, I'm talking about President Mahama, focusing more on job creation. The reason why people, in fact, the smaller people, I'm talking about those who in Galamsey, they go there, is lack of jobs, lack of opportunity. So by creating better opportunities for jobs, you may not even want to go to this risky business. And Galamsey is a very risky business. The legacy issues are going to be addressed. I mean, we know that our lands have been mutilated, our lands have been destroyed. What he's going to do is to rehabilitate, work with private sector and the Minerals Commission to rehabilitate this land. And we'll grow cotton, we'll grow palm oil, we'll grow what is this? Rubber. In fact, somebody called me the other time and said, "How about thinking about industrial hemp?" Because that one, these days, there's a law. The government has passed a law allowing for industrial hemp cultivation, and then it is also, it's legal, and that it doesn't look for any special soil. Any soil, Galamsey site can be deployed economically for job creation. So these are some of the plans that the president has, and I think the idea of recategorization, the idea of using automation to stop this, machines from doing what they are not required to do, they are very revolutionary. And then finally, we talked about the water through water program, the water body. In Ghana, the regulations do not allow for mining to take place in water body. So anybody mining in water body, it's illegal in principle. So what you do is that you enforce that law. You don't allow anybody. So the government of President Mahama is going to enforce strictly mining in water body because that is not allowed. And then if the water is allowed without any activity to settle by itself for a year, you see that the water will become a bit better. We are talking to water treatment companies to see what technology exists speed up the cleaning of the water body. So he has got this revolutionary plans. He had it long ago. 2016, we put it together. 2017, we sat down. 2020, for the elections, we sat down to look at those policies and went around to talk to stakeholders to get input. And so he is willing to apply that when it comes to pass, inshallah.
Then there's one ingredient, because you are referring to it, but whilst you implement all this phenomena would still continue. It will continue to damage the environment. It will continue to also pollute our water bodies. What do you do about the current situation whilst you attempt to implement all this?
Well, I'm sure I am. There'll be moratoriums about how this thing has to be done. You know, the President Fado stopped small-scale mining, not only illegal mines, but for close to 2 years. So if you have to use that opportunity to really seriously address the challenges, I'm sure you would have gone far. But those 2 years were wasted years. And so there's a tendency for some moratorium to be put out so that, especially in the water, you cannot. That one, the president talked about that with much, talking about President Mahama. He talks about the water bodies with passion. So he will not allow anybody to go there. And now, you see, once you recategorize, the advantage here is that you are going to reduce the numbers of groups that are operating, or you are going to structure it in a way that rather than have a myriad of medium-scale type of mines, you are going to have a few, because you're going to put them together. You're going to have a few. And it's easier to regulate a few than to regulate the daughter spots all over the place. I mean, we are able to manage the large mines in Ghana because there are only 16. And so if anything happens, we are able to quickly go and address that. But for the numbers that we see, you can't do it that way. So once you restructure, you can put some of them together and then have a fund around them. They will be a medium scale, and therefore you can have a proper way of controlling the activities. So that is the way we are going to do that, and it's going to be very, very aggressive. I must say that there's no country where, I mean, of course, America used to be a Galamsey country, and then now it is not. I mean, not America, it's the whole of America, but San Francisco area, there was a mining area. So these things do happen, but you can still have vestiges of indiscipline somewhere. That I'm sure the security forces will be able to deal with them.
Doc, thank you very much for speaking to us this morning.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Dr. Tony Aubynn is NDC sectorial spokesperson on mining. Join us on the line for us to have a conversation. Now, a few comments you're sharing with us.